Hello everyone, it's Jeff. Back with you with another video. This time showing off some of my findings at the record show that I went to on Sunday. I went pretty early on in the show. I got there probably just a few minutes after 9. And my wife went with me, and she actually drove and dropped me off because turns out the parking lot at the hotel that held the show was packed. So she just dropped me off, told me to have fun, and waited for me. So once again, I gotta give a shout out to my beautiful wife. She's the best. And but she did send me in with a request for an album to look for, which I will get to in a few minutes. I'll tell you more about that. The Sunday, I'm filming this on Tuesday. We went on Sunday. Was a hot, maggoty, humid, just blah day. And the air conditioning in the hotel wasn't that great. So you take that plus big crowds of people, and that equals sweat. So I was getting pretty well heated in there, while even as I was moving around trying to worm my way into the boxes of records that the sellers had. And sometimes it was hard to get to because there were, like I said, a lot of people. But all that said, I figured this was another pretty successful show. I wound up with 8 records, and I only went $12 over my budget, which was $100. So I spent $112 in just for terms of complete transparency. So that's not too bad, and you'll see why when I show you the records. So I also met towards the end of my record shopping. I met Sean, who's got his own channel called Sean's Vinyl Corner. He could use some subscribers, so I'll try to remember to post a link in this video and check out his channel. Very nice guy. I have to admit I was probably a little frazzled because focusing on the boxes of records and dealing with the public and being kind of hot and sweaty didn't leave me probably in the best mood. But I wasn't mean or anything, but walking away, I felt like, oh, I probably should have been a little more talkative. Aside from showing each other the records we got, and he was looking for Rory Gallagher, and I remember seeing a couple, but I gave him like the general area whether I kind of sort of thought it might have been, but it turns out he found a Taste record, which was Rory Gallagher's band before he went solo. So, which I don't even have that album, so good job. Yeah, but overall it was a pretty successful show. Dean from Grandma's Handbag, I said I'd give you a shout out if I got the Velvet Underground live album, and I had a copy in my hand. It was it had to have been an 80s reissue because it was on Mercury Records. It was on the Mercury label, and it had that 80s style. It was a black background with the red letters that say Mercury on it. And the seller wanted 25, and it wasn't a gatefold. And I looked at the records because I think it was a 2-record set, but the condition just wasn't worth 25 to me. It was, it had scuffs all over it. You know, sometimes they might be inaudible, sometimes they are. You just can't tell. It didn't look scratched, but it looked like it had been sufficiently used to make me decide against getting it. So I almost thought about going back to look at it a second time at the end, but I was pretty much done by the time I was done, I was done. So I'm still on the lookout for it, and whenever I do finally get it in my hands, I'll give you another special shout out because it is an album I want, and I know you showed it in your last one, and I've lost auctions for it, and it's the Velvet Underground live one with the girl's butt on the cover with the short skirt, and you can see her underwear. It's that cover. You guys know which one I'm talking about, I think, if you're a Velvet Underground fan. So yeah, other than that, there really wasn't too many that I had to put back that because of condition. Basically everything that I found is in pretty good shape. A few just need light cleaning, a few don't. So I think in that regard, I got away pretty lucky. All right, let me take a drink of water before I start showing you records here. All right, I bulked up my Johnny Winter collection with 3 albums. And since recommending them to Hannah and since getting the Progressive Blues Experiment about a month or 2 ago, I've really gotten into Johnny Winter again. So I found this one here, and all 3 of these records I think cost me a grand total of 20. I think one was 7, one was 3, and the other one I think was like $9. So just under 20 for the 3, which is a pretty good deal to me. I got this one. It's Johnny Winter, and I think this was his 3rd album. I think this was for Columbia. I think this is the one that came out after Second Winter. Just pull out of the bag here. There's the back cover. Pretty basic, and this one just has a plain paper sleeve, but it's on the Columbia label, the good old traditional red Columbia label, so that was good. It just looks like it's got a little bit of dust on it, which is fine with me, so I was glad to get that one. Then I got, I think the album that came out 1 or 2 after that, Still Alive and Well. This album actually came out in '73. There's the back, and this was when Rick Derringer was still in the band playing with them. And this one did have a custom inner. It's a thick cardboard. You see the songs there. You got him on the other side as well. Very nice. Also with the same later period Columbia label. And this record is also in very nice condition too, so very happy about that. And last but not least, I got Saints and Sinners. This was the $7 record. As you can see, I still got to peel this price sticker off. And there's the back. So yeah, I was, and it's just no custom inner, just plain paper one with the same red Columbia label. So yeah, all 3 of these I was very glad to get. Found these early on in my record shopping, and for a good price. So I got a bigger collection of Johnny Winter albums now, so that was cool. Then another record that I've been looking for off and on for a while, which I've seen in other people's videos, and I found it cheap, like brand new, was Marshall Crenshaw. I know Hannah's recommended this album. I've seen it pop up a few other places. I know Someday Someway, and I know Marianne. So those are the 2 songs I think that were released as singles, I'm pretty sure. But I'm sure the rest of this album is going to be just as good. And this is on the Warner Brothers label, like brand new, for $5. So I snapped it up. Real easy. No brainer for this one. Marshall Crenshaw. Some power pop from the early 80s. Then, like I said, my wife drove me there, and she waited while she tried to find a parking spot, and she sent me in with a request for me to find an album. She wanted me to find Controversy by Prince, his Controversy album. So I was looking and I was looking, and I wasn't finding a whole lot of Prince. What I was finding was pretty beat, and I was getting a little discouraged. And I'm like, well, you know, can't win them all, I guess. And then I came across a copy. And this is definitely a good news, bad news type of situation, because You'll see this in about another second. This copy was sealed when I bought it. It's not sealed anymore because I opened it and we've played it already, and it's a great album. But it came with this sticker on the cover, and if I try peeling it off, it's just going to rip the cover. So it was sealed, but I got to live with this sticker on the cover. So like I say, it was good news, bad news type of thing. And I'll just read to you what the sticker says. It says, you know, a square deal. This album was returned to the manufacturer with its seal broken, although no flaws were found during a routine inspection. It is offered for sale at a substantial savings and is not returnable. Manufacturer's suggested list price is $2. I did not pay $2 for this album. I wish I did, but I didn't. This was actually my most expensive record of the day. I ended up paying $40 for this one. And it was sealed, brand new. It had the original Warner Brothers plastic sleeve, but it was pretty crumpled and old. So of course, I pitched it in favor of a MoFi sleeve. But here, I could just show it to you real quick here. It's on the Warner Brothers label. As you can see, it's brand new. Yeah, I overpaid, I know. But I didn't want to disappoint my wife. I wanted to get the record she wanted me to find, and this was the only copy that I found in the whole show. And B, I like Prince too. I need to get more of his albums in my collection. And C, it was a sealed record, so I figured there's no quibbling over condition. I knew it was going to be in great shape. I knew it was going to sound great, and it does. And I played it later that evening for very loud. And so, yeah, I overpaid, but what are you going to do? Every so often, you got to. So, and I want to make her happy, so that's why I did that. But the bad part is I got this big, ugly sticker on it. But I don't play the covers, so I guess it doesn't really matter that much to me. I mean, it looks like it was a cutout at one point in its life, which is mind-boggling that a Prince album would be in a cutout bin, but what are you going to do, huh? But, yeah. Happy to get this one. Happy to get it for her. Happy to add it to the collection. So, there you go. Now, this next album is for my buddy Anthony and my other buddy Bill over at the Vinyl Verse. I know you guys are going to be proud of me because I was looking for early Genesis albums. That was on my mental list besides Johnny Winter and Prince. And I found this. This is a 2-record reissue of the Nursery Crime and the Foxtrot albums, released as one set. And this is a UK pressing. I got this for $25. The records are like new. I'll just show you the back here. This reissue came out, I think, when did this reissue come out? 1979. So this is a UK reissue, 2-record set. And here's just the inner with all of the songs and all of the lyrics. Released on the Charisma label. A different label design than what I've seen before, but it still has the singing guy up top, or whatever you call him. Records are like brand new. Basically, they're just a little dusty. They'll just need to be cleaned lightly in the spin clean. But other than that, pretty happy. And I was able to knock out 2 Genesis albums with one set. So, as I bought this, I was thinking of you guys. And because I know Bill is a huge Genesis fan. And Anthony's the one that sent me Genesis Live from a couple of months ago, or weeks ago, I should say. And here's the other record. Also in great condition. So to me, it was worth it. And like I said, I didn't really come across old Genesis. I found, you know, like their 80s albums, like Duke and Abacab and the self-titled Genesis albums, but I'm not as interested in those as I am in like the Peter Gabriel era. So that was the reason why I went with this set. So, and the cover's in very nice shape too. So got this here, a twofer from Genesis. And last but not least, the other person that I had on my mental list was Robyn Hitchcock. And I found a seller there who had a bunch of 12 inches of Robyn Hitchcock. One of them was even an interview disc, but like I said, they were kind of beat. He was asking, I probably would have bought them all, but you're paying album price for a 12-inch single, and it's like, that's just too much money. You know, it's if I had unlimited funds, maybe I would have, but I had to pass, unfortunately. But luckily, I did come across another seller who had a couple of Robyn Hitchcock albums. They were both $10 each. Got this one here called Gotta Let This Hen Out. Robyn Hitchcock and the Egyptians. Here's the back. I think this one came out in 1985, or it was recorded in 1985. It may have come out the following year, or later in 85. On the Relativity record label. Very nice. Very nice record. Like I said, it's just a little dusty. But no scratches, no scuffs, no marks, just a little bit of light dust. So that's what I like. I can handle that. Get this back in the sleeve. So I was thrilled to finally find some Robyn Hitchcock because, like I say, he's a tough get. And the other one that I got was Groovy Decoy. Groovy Decoy, yeah. This one also came out in 85, 86. So there you go. And then this one is, I think this is a German, this must be a German pressing because it's on the Midnight Music label. And everything but the song titles are in German. So obviously this must be a German pressing, but the condition is stellar. Very happy with that. And before I put these back, both of these albums had order forms in them that were kind of cool to look at in a second. This was on the Groovy Decoy, in the Groovy Decoy album. If you wanted to order a video, live footage from the Marquee London plus 3 excellent promos. And then you get t-shirts and sweatshirts. There's an order form there, which is kind of cool. And let me put this back and show you the one for the other one. And for the other album, it came with this here, this order form. Gotta let this hen out. It's a 1-hour video available in VHS or beta formats. Nice. Of please specify which one when ordering. Of Robyn live in London, chopped up and served with many a weird image. Also included are 3 promo clips directed by Robyn himself. So there you go. And then there's a order for a Fegmania t-shirt right there. And then on the other side is you can order Soft Boys albums like Underwater Moonlight, A Can of Bees. What else? What else? I Often Dream of Trains. The Bells of Rhymney. So yeah, it's pretty cool to have those in there as well. So yeah, all in all, this was a pretty successful record show. I found basically everything I was looking for. currently. So I really got nothing to complain about. It was a good show. It was a good time. I met a fellow VCer, and yeah, I only went $12 over budget, so that's not too bad. I think I actually did better than I did at the last one. So yeah, all in all, it was good. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching, liking, and subscribing, and commenting. I love seeing comments from everyone. And I should be back in a couple days with another Spin Zone video. I've got a couple of albums I've already listened to. Need to get a couple more in to have enough to talk about for a video. But when that happens, I will make one lickety-split. So till then, take care, peace, and I'll see you soon.